So when you move into an area, make sure you do your homework and check out the street. This looked like a quaint little neighborhood at first, and then you know, never look at a house on a Sunday. That's what I'll say. And this comes from 15 years of real estate experience. Though I am not currently hung on anybody's walls with my real estate license, I will tell you that it is best to look at a house during the week if you think that it's on a busy road. I put this piece of cardboard down here, try to catch some of that crap. And we're gonna pull the cover and try to clean this up and see what's going on in there. It's been ridden hard and put away wet. I wish people would every once in a while just go ahead and wash their give it a good pressure wash, you know, especially before you bring it to me. At one point, I had a 90-degree that would fit in here, and now I need to give it a bah. Aye. Unbelievable. I have like four 7/16 laying out there. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Make sure you're not going the wrong way. Yeah, isn't that how it always goes? And what I'm going to do is, yeah, look, let's just see what's going on here. Make sure there's no screw in here, but at the same time, so by the way, right here it says do not use E85 or fuel containing more than 10% ethanol to avoid damage. My brother-in-law, he told me the other day that more alcohol, or the gas with the alcohol, helps clean his carburetor out. I don't know, maybe you guys can comment below. And, you know, I can't argue with him. Especially because he works crazy hours, but I can't argue with him because I don't want to make him mad. What am I missing here? Boys and girls. Oh, you biscuits. This is one where you have to pull it all the way through in the front. I cheat here. No, it's not this, but it'll do the trick. And I bet this is one of those covers. Yep, one of those covers where the bolt's got to come all the way out in the back too. So, lottie freaking da! Thanks, Craftsman. Briggs and Stratton. Actually, it's not Craftsman's fault. It's Briggs and Stratton. Poor design. One way that it could remediate the cracking problem with this is you could modify it, use the breather, and operate a pump off of it, but that's kind of a pain in the butt too. Hopefully you can see stuff and you're not just looking straight out at the moon. Sometimes too you got to be careful because there's a screw there in some of these. And when you put them back together, you got to make sure that this isn't too close. Based on experience, I'll tell you. So it actually looks like it wasn't as bad of a nest there that I was anticipating. So I think he got lucky there. Might have been a little nest in there. Maybe he cleaned it out already. But we're gonna pull this valve cover off. I'm just thinking might be easier to slip past that if we pull. Pull that, but and let me continue spraying. Try to clean this up as best as you can. You don't want to get too much dirt inside the valve cover there. You know, I definitely thought it would be a little bit more loose. Yep, I suspected pretty loose. Oh, somebody may have had that report before. Looks like maybe. Definitely smells like gas. So I think he definitely got lucky. Let's pull the spark plug. Another set that I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff on because I really just need to take a minute or two or three or a week and really focus on cleaning again and organizing because it just got so out of control. Everybody wants everything now, and I'm just trying to help everybody as quickly as I can. It's a little frustrating. Happens at work, happens here at home, and I'm only one person, so talking to myself. Need an extension. Yeah, well, not gonna be able to prevent a whole lot of that, I guess, but guess I probably should move this out so I'm not dropping garbage and dirt in it. And then let's get my leak down tester out. That's where I had it out, pulled it out, set it somewhere right there. Let's turn this to top dead center. Valves don't seem terrible, but something's spitting all over. Could be that the gas was filling up in there and it pushed it into the crankcase. Crankcase was so full, over full or whatever, that I guess it was pushing out through the breather, but Yeah. Well, intake valve. This one. Yep, so I know you can't hear anything because I painted Skyway out there. But once that's done, you should be able to hear it out of there. So I can hear it from the intake. Obviously that's not gonna help with hear it from the intake with on top dead center, and it is, you know, it's loose. But my concern would be Jim, explained to him the situation. I know these probably aren't gonna hold this. Informed him that, in my opinion, definitely seemed like the head gasket was shot. The unfortunate part is, yeah, besides having to clear my throat all the time because of a post-nasal drip, I did hear air coming out of there. So hopefully it's, you know, I've been at this point before. I've opened these up and then you get in there and the next thing you know, you got something else in there that's problematic. But what I do want to do, first things first, is replace this with a fuel shutoff, because number one, it makes it easier for me to work on. Number two, Jim can go ahead and shut this off and not have to worry about the gravity pushing on the needle in there, pushing up into the intake and then putting gasoline into your crankcase, because I sort of feel like that might have already happened a little bit here, because you can definitely smell it. It's usually a good reason for a head gasket to fail, because it overheats, gets hot. Another reason for head gasket to fail, I should say, and we'll have a talk with him about it, is inadequate breathing. So if you can't breathe well, you overheat. Just like if a unit can't breathe well, it overheats. So if you don't have cooling or fluids, you overheat. If you don't have adequate breathing, you overheat or suffocate. And that's kind of probably what is going on here. The good thing is that these aren't too terrible to replace the head gaskets on, but excuse me, we'll take the time, we'll lap the valves too while we're at it, clean the valves up, clean it up good, and I'll take this carburetor apart. We'll make sure that the carburetor is clean. And I may have gotten lucky and my box of gaskets down here. I actually think maybe I got a head gasket for that guy, so hopefully we get lucky. And take these, this beauty needs you to remove the muff can in order to go ahead and get to this. We're gonna order up some gaskets anyways, but while we're in here, we'll give it a good cleaning and everything, and try to make this shine again. And like I said, it doesn't sound like it's terrible yet. So you don't, like the other Craftsman that was in here, you heard the low knocking in the back end, and that's an unavoidable catastrophic failure, unfortunately. Yeah, we're gonna spray a little bit more here, because this is just filthy and nasty. And I gotta pull the torque sequence out again, because I don't remember what the torque sequence is. Torquey sequence is for this. I gotta get a box too, so I can get all my nuts and bolts in there. Probably get the air tool on that, and we'll pull that out. I'm more concerned about the engine area than the other areas, but looking for, that's a stress crack, it looks like, right there. Hey, babe, what'd I do with that rag? Guess I lost it already somewhere, huh? Hey, honey bunny. When you take a break, is there any chance you can bring me that Cascade container down? Yeah, whenever, or just toss it if you want to throw it down to me. What are you snacking on? Anything good? We're going to what are we going to Dairy Queen at 8 o'clock at night?
No, this is disgusting.
All right, well, give me that.
I mean, I don't even know.
Thank you.
I'm on a mission.
Mission? Hee. We talk. We're two fat Americans. We talk about getting cleaned up and going on the vegan diet and stuff. Yeah. Hell, it'll probably freeze over before that happens, but you know. I really wish I had like a glass beater. What I wanted to look at though was this that definitely looks like a fracture. You know what? I mean, I know it's exterior, but you can definitely see it fractured here and here. So I'm wondering if at some point or another somebody did this head gasket before, and when they slapped it back together, they torqued that down too hard. They didn't follow the torque specs. This is why I record shit, because I get in other people's stuff and you just don't know where it's going. And, you know, everybody remembers that it worked just fine before I got it. Before you touched it, it was great. So I actually had a gentleman who reached out to me today. I blocked him. And the reason I blocked Sanjay is because Sanjay is one of the reasons why it's great being able to pick your customers. Sanjay called me up. I came out. This is why I don't do on-site services anymore. Had me do a service on site, which is fine and dandy. I mean, you know, I don't have a problem doing it on site. Watched the whole time, gabbed with me the whole time. And when I started the unit up, I noticed it was smoking, you know. And when I finished servicing it, I noticed it was smoking. And I knew exactly what it was, but I didn't make a big deal about it because it ran. And I just had a bad feeling about him to begin with. You gotta go with your gut feeling sometimes. And what Sanjay proceeded to do then was call me the following day and tell me that the mower didn't work right. You know, I went out and I did a lap through the yard with it. And, you know, I could tell that there was a problem probably with the head gasket there. And he proceeded to pretend like he knew nothing about it. I'm sure he did. And then in addition to that, he told me that it didn't do that before. It's absolute crap. So I remembered Sanjay. Sanjay had called me out the year before to look at a Craftsman push mower that he had cracked the block on. Don't know what you can see there, can't see there. But he literally cracked the block on it. So he asked me if I'd fix it, and I said, sure, you know, I can fix it. And had a motor, had a replacement motor for it. And, you know, you could, mosquitoes are coming in. Let me pay attention here a minute. So, your exhaust valve there, and your intake valve there don't look so swell. Anyways, you can't mess that up. You know where they're going because the wear marks that are there. Gasket came off. Is there a gasket there at all? Did anybody see a gasket? I think there's a gasket there, right? Yeah. Gasket actually doesn't look terrible at all. It's the piston. No. What is it? What is it? Yeah, gasket doesn't look bad, although it was spitting oil everywhere. And you could hear it coming out the intake, and it was closed. So, is it the tappet? I know. I saw dirt there. I'll get it, I promise. I was trying not to get it stuck up in the... Anyways, Sanjay had me... Yeah, this head gasket looks really new. Why was it spitting oil like that? And why was it leaking air? It didn't sound like it was coming out of valve. I mean, it is definitely leaking. It's definitely leaking oil. Holy moly! So let's go clean this up. Try to clean it up. I don't even know how I want to clean it up. Where I want to clean it up at. I feel like I need to put it in a box with a rag. So I entertained Sanjay and replaced the motor and did the head gasket on his riding mower, Aaron's riding mower. And today he texted me, and when I got there, here's the best part. When I got there, then I helped him tune up his snowblower for free, basically. And when I got there, Sanjay proceeded to ask me to wind the string onto his weed whacker, which was the straw that broke me. So I said, negative, I will not do that. And he called me or texted me the other day and proceeded to cry me a woe is me story about being a single family earner who's living in a $650,000-$700,000 house. In my opinion, okay. Maybe the budget's tough. He also tried to get me to fix the sewer vent while he was out there, which was interesting because he hit the sewer vent with the Craftsman push mower that he broke the crankcase and cracked the crankcase. So in addition to that, he then proceeded to tell me that the push mower string broke and he only used it twice, and that he broke the string broke. And I highly doubt that he used it twice, because I'm sure he used it the whole season, and he went out to start it this season. And I can't call him a liar because I don't know, but basically I said I'm not going to help you, and then blocked him. So sorry, Sanjay, but when you treat people like that and you try to take advantage of me and my time and my value, I don't want to deal with you. So, and I'm pretty content with my full-time job, and just trying to make a couple extra bucks maybe, and I am paying taxes on all this stuff. Looks like the carburetor was replaced at 1.2, or at least meddled with. Yeah. I might actually take this out in the yard and give it a blast, but the bad news is that even though I heard the air coming out of the valve, and the valves were closed, and we had oil spraying out of everywhere, we're just gonna take these, I'll put them in here too. Try not to, when you do this, try not to beat your push rods up when you're dropping these in there. Yeah, or put too much more crap in there, because that's exactly what happened there. Spraying oil from somewhere. I'm gonna say it's probably not the head gasket, but we're gonna replace the head gasket anyways. The head gasket looks pretty darn new. Oh, maybe, you know what, right there on the back side of that, it looks like it pushed through. Yeah. And just make sure when you're playing with your head here that you're careful with that too, without dinging it. But yeah, right here, I don't know if you can see it, but right here it looks like the material broke or gave way. Yeah, yep. I'm gonna stay right in that area. That's the weak spot. So, and I actually may have a head gasket. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Negative. Yep. Positive. Hey, look at that. I finally got something. I mean, maybe. But I'm going to say probably not. I'm going to say it's more maybe in that valve. That valve might be sticking, and we'll clean that valve and lap that valve up, and then we'll reset this to the right specs. When you're doing this, you don't have to scrape too hard. You know, you don't need to scrape on that like an animal. You'll see what I do. I take usually take a flap disc, like a if I can find it. I mean, you can use a wire wheel, but I don't like to use wire wheels because I think wire wheels do a little bit too much damage to the head surface. I do use the wire wheel every once in a while, depending on what's going on, but I'm out of steel wool, so I do need to get some steel wool and find my drill. There's my drill. Yeah, you know, the same song, dance, running around in circles. I think this is probably too hard. That's probably too hard. Can't find the discs that I'd like to use. And bring it up all the way if you can. You can pull these studs out as well. Yeah, you know, to get in there a little bit better if you want to get in there a little better. Just looking to see. Hopefully you can see all that. Could see all that. Did see all that. And then I used to stick a rag in there, but what happened then, every once in a while I get the rag wrapped up around the top of my drill. Yeah. One point I used to go ahead and throw a little bit of yeah, see that? That's weird. Those marks there are very interesting. So, again, this is why I video. Not saying that Hollywood's always right, you know, or forthright or truthful with us, but at least here you can kind of see where maybe the oil was slipping through there, but those marks are a little, I mean, they're out far enough that I'm not overly concerned about them, but they're a little alarming. See, well, that's why I didn't stick them on the inside of those that valve area anymore. Gets you every time. Scares the crap out of me too. Better than getting my flesh stuck in there though. What I won't do is I won't remove, won't remove the valve guides because I don't see any need to, but I will make sure that we put the right amount of goo on here. I actually think I have a gasket that we can use on here. Sometimes the gasket's a little bit better. Not that I don't like RTV, but that's gray RTV somebody was using. They didn't do a very good job at using it. And look, you can see where they, right there, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's where they pried it at. If you can see that little ding. Somebody used the wrong tool there at one point. Try to use the flattest thing you can find to get in there and pry it open gently. Someone really busted that open there. Come on. I tried to get a parts washer, but someone beat me on the auction. And I've been very hesitant. Look, you can see where they beat it. They hit it there too, trying to get it apart. I've been very hesitant to buy a Horrible Freight parts washer, and honestly, the pressure washer works fine. Someone definitely had this apart before. Some interesting marks. All right, so on to the next fun, joyous part here, and that is the intake and exhaust. So, you know, it's not hard to differentiate the valves necessarily, but these keepers here, boy, oh boy, if you lose them, you're gonna be pissed. So, and what I would tell you to do is, if you can, try to keep them where they belong. So we're gonna get some Gorilla Tape here. And hopefully, if I can find a pair of scissors up in here. Yep. And I have too much grease on it, so I'm just gonna wrap that in there. We're gonna call that exhaust. If I can find my copper or silver marker now. Yeah, 55% probably won't get me too far, but aimlessly meandering and wandering around. That's pretty much what I do in this garage. Let's get the next one out here. So I just put X on that and toss it in there. So I go back through here. I could have probably done this all in one night, but I'm going to take the other guy and put in. And a nice sealed little package. And yes, it will be a pain in the ass to get apart, but at least I won't lose them. And I'll know exactly what they are. And then, same thing with these guys here. When you do these, what I do is, I know everybody's like, oh, you need a valve compressor. But in all actuality, you can do this without a valve compressor. You just gotta be a little gentle with it. Popping these guys is sometimes a little bit of a booger, but now listen, I'm not saying that a compressor wouldn't make life a little bit easier, but it's not fun if it's not difficult for you to do. So yeah, what did I just do with that? Did I have it? There. Here goes one. Don't lose it either. Here goes the other one. So make a note, that's your intake. I will clean it up before I'm done with it. I usually have a board here that I put items on, and we're going to try to put this out of the way somewhere. Just sit here for a minute and then come back through and do the same thing with your exhaust. That one popped a little bit easier. So, and inspect stuff while you're at it, you know. Yeah, the dexterity is getting worse as I age, so exhaust. And then same thing here. These tops will come off if you let them come off, so you know, just try not to upset the apple cart too much. And yes, it is a little bit of a pain in the butt to get back apart, but in reality for me, I can throw this back in that container in case things get held up for a little while. So that was exhaust. And not be worried about where my little collets are and crap like that. And for the couple cents that I'm spending here, it gives me a little bit of peace of mind. So it's just the way I do it. You know, let it roll around the garage and get lost. Yeah, make sure both those are in there. Yep. Get lost and not find it later on. Whatever works for you. This works for me. If it doesn't work for you, fuck you. And that's garbage now. Oop. Oh, well, I mean, that's almost garbage too, but I kind of need that. I won't have lunch. Throw that back on the floor. And then you can focus on these. Now, here's what I'm going to say. You really can't mix the exhaust and the intake up on these because they are the same size. I mean, not the same size. However, this one definitely looks burnt to hell. Holy crap. So see all that slop on the inside there? Hopefully lapping that out will they both look a little burnt and worn, but hopefully lapping that out will I'm gonna have to see if I have another valve seat laying around. That one looks a little rough. Fingers are all grimy, or order one. That's terrible in there. Look at that. Definitely gonna have to get some I mean, there's definitely enough suction in there. So the seat seems like it's pretty good going in. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. I think there's enough there. If I have one laying in the toolbox, we'll take care of it. Oh, don't know why I came to that side. The drawer's over on this side now. A little bit goes a long way. There's enough oil on that other end anyways already, but let's take a seat and watch traffic go by. You can watch me twist this. I'm gonna have to Gotta get the motorcycle out back here. I think we're gonna ride tomorrow. I don't know what you're looking at, so I don't know what you've been looking at. Ah, biscuits. You can kind of see how that worked its way in there. I think we're probably good enough, but just make sure you don't drop it, because if you drop it on the ground, you might get lucky, but you usually don't. So, then let's just wipe some of the schmutz off the bottom here. You can see, yeah, I cleaned that up pretty good. And then what I'll do is I'll come back through tomorrow. And like I said, I'm out of steel wool now. We'll clean that part of the valve up. Let's lap the exhaust valve while we're at it. And you can see, I think you can see where that cleaned that up at. And the same thing in here. And I'll spray all this out real good. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that burnt carbon out of there. That valve was probably sticking. So the head gasket may not have been terrible, but you can see the schmutz inside that valve. So the valve was probably sticking a little bit. I don't want to make too much of a mess in there with that flathead. We got a hot rod. Hot rod. Exhaust side looks pretty dang good though. Other than maybe it got a little hot, but anybody see my baby? There it is. And I probably need a smaller guy, huh? Let's see. Yeah, they want to fit. Just barely. You can actually see where the seat was on this one too. The other, that intake one, you could not see the seat. I'm just thinking, you know what? I just did a Craftsman, that LT1000, and I didn't pull the head off, but you know, yeah, it was on the bottom, wasn't? I don't remember where the I want to go back through my video. I don't remember where the intake was been at. Someone might catch me up on that. I have to look. And I honestly didn't pay too much attention. I saw it was bent. I replaced it, and didn't think anything of it. But maybe if I go back through my video, I might have been wrong and not paying attention. It happens. I talk to myself a lot. Yep. And all I did was I mean, there was a loud growl in that anyways. I mean, that unit definitely was at its end of life. You could hear the knock on the bottom of that. It was an angry knock. It was not a nice knock. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the smaller one. Smaller one. I don't know, how many cars did you count going by yet? Anybody? Motorcycles and cars? Lots of them, huh? Yeah, it's a good seat. And I think it's probably about 8 o'clock anyway, so I don't see any nicks in that. This one was is definitely the one I'm concerned about, just with the goo in there. So we're gonna pack it in for the night. I'll leave that in there. And yeah, we're gonna push this out so I can get my motorcycle out, because I'd like to ride that in the morning. The silver goo strikes again. Ugh. So nothing like that throat cleaner and crap. What do you do? And we're done with that goop, so we can plug that back in there. Let's whoa. There it is. I probably don't need. Hey, there you are. What'd I do? Leave it upstairs and bring it down here.
One person was taken into custody. The shooting comes in a office in Chicago over the last few weeks.
Someone was taken into custody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just bought a box of Fine, but you know, I can't help myself. It's a great way to sharpen your scissors. Good thing these were free from horrible freight. Probably should wear a little bit of a respirator too. Now I already did the valve seat, so I don't want to get the valves. Oh, that's so gooey. I can't even turn it. How do you like that? That's the first. I never got it that gooey, did you? Holy shnikes. Well. See, that's why you put the tape on it. And maybe step it up a notch. Probably about as good as I'm gonna get. Biscuiters. Looks like it'll hold. Get in here, try to get some of that goop out of there. Try not to hit the valve seat too much there because I already lapped the valve seat. May end up just relapping it again. Yeah, hate when that happens. Rip a finger off from the machining. Make some noise here. All right, let's blow it out. This thing was worthless. Set it over here for the time being. Jesus, Pete. you're not familiar with this shitty product, never buy an Alcam. I think that's it. I think that's what we just need to, I need to go ahead and find out what the specs are for torquing this down. Because I forget if it's 17 foot-pounds or what it was. God, gravy. Should really charge extra for cleaning. It takes up most of the time. This is a 31C as in Charlie 707 3346 G2. If anybody was keeping track. I'm gonna try not to rip my fingers up. Those text messages are people with broken equipment. Sometimes you're chasing a dragon that you can't catch, so and what happened with these valve covers over the years, they used to come with a ridge around the outside of them, and then somewhere along the line they decided not to put a ridge around them, and they used a gasket instead. But I think personally I think the one with the ridge on it is better than the one without the ridge. That's just my opinion. We're done charging this battery too today. Gasket remover works fine too, but you do what makes you happy, all right? I'm not going to use gasket remover or TV on this. I'm just going to put a gasket on it and call it a day. That way if I need to readjust the valves out, even though I usually don't, I can. See, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Huh. That's our TV, but what the heck is that? So not much has changed in a lot of these models. The valve clearance for the intake on this model needs to be between 0.03 and 0.05, and the exhaust is 005, sorry, and 007. 220 inch pounds on the valve, or on the head on the head itself. And we'll stagger it. Like I said, I need to find I thought I had red Loctite out here. I better put that in my pocket before it ends up breaking. Use the old E-torque. Let's change it to inch pounds. I think I go up to 220. Otherwise, I'm going to get the big guy out. Forget where this one stops. I'm sure it's right on the money for some Chinese stuff inspected by Wok. Ow, poked myself. I poked myself. Get this out of here. Wish I could find my little hooks. I don't know where I put those all at. Unbelievable mess you got yourself into here, Ryan. Not cool at all. Oh, that's probably not a great place to. I really should just get another rag. Keep some of this stuff clean. I am a little concerned that that push rod definitely has some wear on it. We're gonna set our head down here. We're gonna have to go over there and wad up a and oh, you know what? I guess it would do me some good to clean this up a little bit. It doesn't look bad. I'm not gonna spin it. We don't need to spin it. And the old drill chuck. I don't think there was a problem at all with the exhaust. It was just the intake where I could hear the air getting by. And I probably could have gotten away without doing the head gasket. However, in order to go ahead and get the valve out, you need to take the head out anyway. So you might as well have at it and do them both at the same time. So let's give them a quick wash too real quick. And we'll dip the back end of this in some oil. You can see how hot that baby got. See how blue it is? Means it was running really lean. Probably lucky you didn't blow it up. That's what I'm gonna say. So we're gonna start with the exhaust first. So we're gonna take the exhaust over there to my wadded paper. And then that's what I do. Let's get a little. Ooh, almost broke it. Yes. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but this is what they tell you to do. You can spit on it for all I care. Yeah. Open up my speckle and press. You can cut these too. The fuck is calling me? Jesus fuck! What's up?
Other than it was took a long time, they were really very nice. And the store manager was a little snotty because I had talked to an assistant manager, two of them, and he goes, "Well, that's usually not the way it's done." But anyway, he said, "If that's what they told you, I'll go along with it." So anyway, I'm getting the craftsman.
All right. Well, hopefully you have better experience with the craftsman then. Oh yeah. You know, I was just talking to someone else, and they were saying that too, about how that really hurt their knee or whatever, or their leg.
My knee is a mess tonight. I'm sure the weather has a lot to do with it, but I know when I mowed before, it's like until the next day my knee still hurts.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will be the answer. I don't know. I have no clue. But the other thing that happened to it, and the guy said, yep, he said we have had a couple complaints about that. You know, I would put it up on like 6 or 5 to mow.
Yeah.
And it would jump down to 4.
Huh.
Yeah, all by itself.
Weird.
Yeah, yeah. And it did it the first time I mowed too, and I guess it did it the last time, but I know today it definitely did. So,
Well, maybe that's what caused it to bump into the roots.
well, I don't think it bumped into any root lines. Walt said he really thinks the deck is not on correctly. So,
Could very well be.
yeah. So, but you know those little needles in the deck?
Yeah.
They never touch the ground. I thought they were supposed to touch the ground once in a while.
I mean, there are anti-scalping wheels, but
Well, they never touch the ground. So, I watched them a lot. And anyway, we'll see what happens with the craftsmen. I mean, they were very, very nice. And now the biggest deal is going to be getting them delivered because I'm leaving on Wednesday.
well, I love broken shit. It's the best. It reminds me of how much I hate engineers because they make shit. For every engineer must have never turned a wrench or busted a knuckle.
Yeah, I know.
They suck.
It's just like people who design roofs.
Yep.
Went out and drove those damn roofs.
No.
They don't know. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. I did tell them that I'm leaving on the 25th. They said that they would try their darndest to get it delivered to me.
Well, it'll be 100 degrees tomorrow if you're around. I got the trailer hooked up to the Explorer, so.
I'm not going to be around. I'm going down to, I have that class in Lancaster.
All right.
So, I'm done for tomorrow. So,
Okay.
we'll see what they call and say. Maybe if you got it hooked up, we'll do it on Sunday.
Okay.
All right, love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Well, that was my mom's. And then mom's, she bought a new Husqvarna. And that Husqvarna, I don't know, the deck must have some problems with it because she done taking it back. She said the neighbor came over and looked at it. And I told her, I said, I haven't had she hadn't even had that thing a month. I said, take it back, get it out of your life, and do it now while you can. And, I don't know why people do it, but when people have bad experiences with lawnmowers and stuff, specifically, yeah, come on. Yes, I promise I'll clean that up. Specifically, due to engineering designs or flaws, it's, I can understand if it's a maintenance thing. But if it's a, let me just make sure I was paying attention. Yeah, that says N. I don't know why they go out and buy the same thing then twice. She went out and she bought another Husqvarna. God love her. She was upset and didn't have time for me to come over and evaluate the situation. you're not familiar with this shitty product, never buy an Alcam. I think that's it. I think that's what we just need to, I need to go ahead and find out what the specs are for torquing this down. Because I forget if it's 17 foot-pounds or what it was. God, gravy. Should really charge extra for cleaning. It takes up most of the time. This is a 31C as in Charlie 707 3346 G2. If anybody was keeping track. I'm gonna try not to rip my fingers up. Those text messages are people with broken equipment. Sometimes you're chasing a dragon that you can't catch, so and what happened with these valve covers over the years, they used to come with a ridge around the outside of them, and then somewhere along the line they decided not to put a ridge around them, and they used a gasket instead. But I think personally I think the one with the ridge on it is better than the one without the ridge. That's just my opinion. We're done charging this battery too today. Gasket remover works fine too, but you do what makes you happy, all right? I'm not going to use gasket remover or TV on this. I'm just going to put a gasket on it and call it a day. That way if I need to readjust the valves out, even though I usually don't, I can. See, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Huh. That's our TV, but what the heck is that? Seriously? Just don't have time for whatever. I don't, people. I'm sorry. You know, I got broken shit here too to deal with, and I just, you know, as much as I would love to help you, because I'm dirt cheap and everybody knows it, I can't. It'd be nice if I had a bigger garage. Make sure you're hanging on to that good, because you don't want to lose it. Alright, we're already there. I need one more thing to make this complete. I need to find my Loctite. Or I might have to run out and get some. There it is, right in front of me. And yeah, someone can be mad at me about this later, but I am not overly concerned about it because I want to put it together. And yes, I did pour dirt out on there. And I think what we'll do is go through these two. Usually I use alcohol for these, but this is the closest thing I had to clean it off. And you probably should use new ones anyways, but I know the Kohler recommends that you use new ones. But ow. I haven't had any problems yet with reusing bolts. Doesn't mean that it can't happen. Yeah. Kind of excited. I want to use the Loctite. And really, you only need to Loctite about that much of it. And I'm not going to Loctite that much because someone else will be really mad at me when they go through and they try to service it if I Loctite it like that. So I don't want to have someone lose it or break one off. And you know what? We'll probably got a little dizzy from that. Is someone on to hear that bounce again? Come on. We'll just use one to hold it in and go through this. You always want to start these by hand because if you don't and you screw it up, you'll be sorry. And we're just placing that there so it holds. And then the rest of these guys, we're gonna smear up. Someone else might be mad, but it might even be me who's mad about it. I don't know yet. We'll find out. I just know I don't want it to move. after I get it together. And the torque pattern is just make sure you're crisscrossing everything. I mean, I know Briggs and Stratton has a method of madness for this all. I start You're lucky it's you.
Sorry, dinner's ready whenever.
All right, bye. And we'll pull that middle one back out after I get these in here. Yeah. Pull on these and just make sure you're going with them, because if you pull that and you mess this head up, or I should say this cylinder up, by ramming one of these in here like Ramathorn, you won't be sorry, sorry, sorry. Might as well get on Facebook and look around for a new one, because it ain't gonna fix it. So and if you do have that happen where you got one that's cross-threaded, I highly recommend that you take that opportunity to go ahead and pull it out before you go too far with it. Buy the right tap and get it straight before you continue boogering it up. At least you can try to save some of it, because if you look how long these bolts are, and they're pretty long, you know what I mean? And trust me, I still get nervous. So what we're gonna do then is we're going to grab set at 202. You can start wherever you like. I should probably do, let's do half. So we're at 220 with a 110. And then we'll bump it up. And 111 close enough. Yeah. I might need to get a small extension in there. Yeah, I'm going to see if we can find a small extension. All right. Hey, so thought I got this one right. Yep. Oh, missed one. So we'll let that sit for 10 minutes. We're done with this. The valve cover is 7 foot-pounds, I think, if I remember off the top of my head. Here's the neighbor. Time to get food. Well, all right, well, I think I got a valve cover gasket. Yep, right there. So what we'll do is I just slap a little grease on the back of that in a minute. And clean up the, just give it a wipe. Once a wipe. And just remember where you're going with this. I thought it was at top dead center there, but maybe down a little bit. See, and you can see that's all that rod moves. And I think what we'll do is we'll struggle with this a little bit. It's just because I do like a good challenge, and you know, you can pull these nuts off. There's no problem with that. And I'll end up, you know what? Instead of trying to shortcut it like I always do. Find the right one, do it the right way, and let's see. I remember who's this guy? Yeah. So It's a lot easier. It is, I won't lie. I hate busting those because sometimes when you bust them, you gotta end up taking the whole stud out, because that's just the way life goes sometimes. So if I can, I try to slip them in. Hopefully I'm in the right spot. Of course. Yeah, got your valve twisted up there. So we're supposed to be at top dead center, but it doesn't look like I'm at top dead center. That's top dead center. And now I need to find my feelers to get that lovely feeling. Bring back whoa. Where'd my feelers go, guys? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this technical work is getting exhausting. Shorts right in this cart. Right there's a set. Dirty. Dirty. Holy moly. Know why it's cut? Because when you have a pesky leaf blower that's an overhead, and these are the crappy ones, but they do the job. I really should just clean them all off. Just gather all that dust and dirt. That's 04. Why do they make these phones so slippery? Well, this is supposed to be intake 03 to 05, 5 thousandths, 4 thousandths. So that's the intake. Well, that's 4. There's a little bit of drag there. Let's see if it's gonna hold it steady, rock steady, and then sure that didn't stay where it was supposed to stay, and they get dirt in here. I cheat a little bit. You use the nut. I use the nut, and then Like the 10,000th time, I finally got that stupid freaking valve dialed in over there, or valves dialed in. And yeah. Oh my God. I'll try to get all the gas out of that. Oh, you biscuit. That's tough. I probably didn't need to do that either. Well, yeah, I don't need to do that because this has the screws on the bottom, but that'd probably be a pain in the butt to get apart too. Because that's just how it goes. These get all... Oh my God, I can't even pull that apart. Phenomenal. It's how these get all jammed up, twisted up, and I really need to get a bench so I can put my... Just want to be careful you don't... I wish I had one of those impact. Yeah, see, I need to figure out something else in there. Yeah, that son of a bitch ain't coming apart. And I can try to hit it with a... Well, let's figure this out. Projects with locked and frozen... Yeah. Locked and frozen nuts. And really the only reason I'm inspecting this is just to make sure that he can try to mitigate blowing his engine up, because these I don't call them Briggs and Krakens for nothing. This is one of those Nickies. Like I said, one of those Nickies. I hate these Nickies. I mean, fucking really. Hopefully I didn't lose that O-ring. And we'll clean this up real quick. Doesn't look too terrible in there. Good thing I didn't lose the jet there. Actually looks like someone may have already fiddle-farted around with this one a little bit, but ethanol. I mean, technically, I could probably replace that whole thing, because it does look a little gangrenous. Phew. Look, yeah, let's get some of that dirt out of there too. Yeah, I saw a piece of rubber go flying with that. Should really stop sniffing that, Ryan. You can kind of see at the bottom there too, they got a little bit of debris spunking around in there. Right there, looks like yeah, a little bit of dried ethanol maybe. And I really should be fucking using it, not fucking shaking shit all over. Oh, dude, you fucking put this in the wrong spot, didn't you? Before we're done here, you'll have this all fucked up. Shut up, Daniel! Jesus, for the last hour. Fucking A, really? Right? What'd I do there? Been a long time since I did one of these, I guess. Put that on backwards like an idiot. And, I mean, your hands can't get any fucking dirtier or grimier. So, I mean... Ay, fucking make sure this sits in here right. Because that moved now when I pulled it apart. Got Mr. Fly. Mr. Mech Fly fucker. That's more like it. Good thing you can edit some of this. Yeah. So final notes before I head up to Slumberland. I replaced the fuel filter as well. I usually like the clear ones better, but I'm out of the clear ones. I added this inline fuel shutoff for you, and it is very, very important. I'm going to actually zip tie it here, but it's very important to make sure that you shut that off to avoid having problems. And we better make sure that your breather's hooked back up. I'm sorry for looking at the ground there. Just breather was really hanging down there. Yeah, of course. That's a lot harder to do one-handed than I had anticipated. A little biscuit. There we go. Always check the oil. My fear is that if you do have a stuck needle and it's on the intake, you will have a cracked block. So, with that, I bid you good night, and we'll see you in the morning.